Hello and welcome to the Powerful Personal Brand podcast, where we help and inspire you to build a great personal brand to increase your visibility and authority. I am your host, Claire Bond, and on today's episode, I am so excited to be joined by Oxana Romanyuk. She is the founder and CEO of Remote Rockstars, love the name, which offers high-end online business management and professional virtual assistant services to visionary entrepreneurs, industry leaders, and coaches. Oxana is a certified online business manager and a proud member of the International Association of Online Business Managers and Association of Virtual Assistants. She has trained countless of virtual assistants and has helped multiple entrepreneurs grow their businesses, reach more people, and impact the world. Welcome, Oxana.
Thank you so much for having me, Claire.
Thank you for being here. I'm really excited. So, virtual assistants. So we're kind of doing a little bit of research on this, and it seems like virtual assistants really started in the early 2000s. What made you decide to start your company in 2019?
So what prompted me to start the company was that I was looking for a lot of flexibility and freedom in my schedule. So I was thinking at the time about possibly starting a family. And then I was just like, what would I imagine my dream life and my schedule to look like so that I can devote equal time and have like a balanced approach to my personal family life and then a successful work life as well. And so that would, at the same time, it's just so coincidental because online, I just started kind of like researching a little bit about digital nomads and then remote workers, virtual assistants. And I came across this really nice newsletter that is still circulating every month. And it's called Red Race Rebellion. So there they mostly focus on all the remote opportunities that are available out there. And they post all different types of jobs monthly. And so that kind of just like gave me a little bit of a push to start looking at the companies that are typically looking for remote work or remote workers, and started to exploring kind of virtual assistants and what it's all about and what kind of services are popular and on demand at that time. And so that's how I got into virtual assistants. And then I felt like I got so good at that I was starting to think, well, I could potentially start building out my own portfolio of clients because I was active on social media. People were reaching out to me with different requests from smaller tasks to larger projects. And then eventually I got 2 very large clients that kind of filled up my hours, and I stopped working with Belay Solutions. And that's how I started just like working for myself. And then a year later, I decided to incorporate the business and open up Remote Rockstars.
Nice. So it just kind of happened organically because your business grew.
Absolutely. So those 2 initial clients started referring my services, and very soon, probably closer to the second half of the year, my hours filled up so much. And I noticed at that point that, and it's probably actually something that comes up for every solopreneur in their journey, where they have to make that decision, whether they want to keep their practice, kind of like their business on the intimate side, maybe more boutique niche services, or if they want to start growing a team and maybe start hiring subcontractors and freelancers to keep on growing. And so I definitely chose the second path.
Yeah, well, so basically, it sounds like, you said a lot of people started coming to you based on social media, based on your personal brand, which is what we talk about.
Yes.
So let's dig into that a little bit. When did you kind of realize that what you were putting out there, how you were presenting yourself could actually attract your ideal clients?
Yeah. So, Claire, I'm probably one of those like atypical business owners where my business is very personal to me. And I rely.
I don't know that that's atypical. I think that's like, yeah, that's why I hate the comment, don't take it personally. I'm like, I can't not take it personally.
Right. So
Go ahead.
it's just so intrinsically kind of just like part of my personality, the reflection of the brand that's out there. And I think that's what draws people in. It's just because I genuinely care about our clients' success. Their success is actually also a reflection of our quality of support. So that's also very important for us as a brand, and then for me as the founder of the company. So that genuine care and nurturing too, I think like that's just naturally part of my personality. And then also just being very selective. I feel like that's also very important for my brand, being very selective as far as like the type of people that we support and the type of people that I personally want to work with. Because it's important to me what kind of impact they're making in the world, how they serve their community, how they show up in the world, and what kind of values they have as entrepreneurs and as individuals. So being a little bit more demanding as far as qualifying our clients, I feel like has been paying off so well for us. And ultimately, that has been kind of like the core of how we approach and how I approach my personal brand.
So, Oksana, tell me, when obviously it's super important to attract the right type of clients, how were you formulating the content that you're sharing, the social media posts that you're sharing, so that people understood that they should work with you and not a competitor?
So we actually take a twofold approach here. So on our Facebook business page and on our Instagram page, we primarily focus on targeting, or I guess coming up with useful content for entrepreneurs themselves who are business owners, right? And so we do share helpful tips as far as how to work with a virtual assistant, the art of delegation ultimately. And that comes very challenging to some people because they just don't have any practice in it. Right. Frequently asked questions about kind of like the industry of the minimum hours, right? Like how long typically the tasks take. And they would just kind of like, how do I actually know that you guys are going to come through, like the reliability factor? But then the second fold to that is our Facebook group, which is Remote Rockstars Club. And that's mostly the useful and helpful community for virtual assistants or remote workers who are looking for opportunities. We don't only share jobs that, you know, are available to us or just we come across, and we kind of like share with all of our family Facebook members. But I also come on video, and then I share helpful tips about how to put a professional portfolio together, what's important, and what our clients, for instance, have emphasized that they appreciated seeing in a way how we provide useful information to them, or professional profiles and resumes of our team members, and then how to put together kind of like a resume, but a virtual resume as opposed to just a regular corporate.
So with your virtual assistants, obviously, you know, your brand and everything is important, but ultimately someone has to to work with this particular person. What would you recommend they do for their personal brand so that they can attract the right people?
I feel like it would be very important from the very beginning to be clear about their values and not really compromise on on the ideal client that they want to serve, and not just to take jobs that are maybe paid well or just out of desperation, but just really wait for those clients that are going to bring them a lot of joy. And joy actually and having fun on the job are very important for our team. So also for the brand, I feel like it's going to be very important to be very clear about the messaging from day one, what kind of approach they want to take as far as how they show up online. And because we are in the remote world, in the virtual world, we all show up online in a certain way. And like having that consistent online presence, I feel like is absolutely important for the brand as well. And then it goes into a little bit of like a minutia here as well, as far as like what is the name of your practice, right? Like, does it actually reflect what you're, or does it actually say, is it easy to pick up on what you're doing? Or is it some obscure kind of like a vague name that nobody will ever guess that you are a virtual assistant? So that's absolutely important. Or even the colors of the brand, are they neutral, attractive, something that's popular at the moment? Or is it something timeless? And so I feel like putting a little bit of effort into that. And then as far as the brand as well, I feel like it's just having that serious and solid online presence. And by serious, I mean that if a virtual assistant decide to open a Facebook business page, which I consider to be a must these days, it has to be completely filled out. And it has to really be kind of like the face of the business. So put a little bit of effort into making that work. And also, a one-page website is so easy to create these days, as easy as opening up a Google business account, and it already comes with all of the Google apps, right? You can create that portfolio or page right there. And so I feel like those are just like really must-haves these days. And then ultimately deciding what other platforms on social media I feel like would be a very good reflection of your business brand, as far as Instagram with the visuals, or Twitter maybe with some tips and techniques, or maybe TikTok with some of the helpful videos, educational videos, in addition to some of the content as well that you can share there.
Okay, awesome. So I think that's really key to make sure that presenting yourself the way you would ultimately present somebody else, right? So because otherwise, if you kind of show up sloppy and some of the work that you do isn't really great, or you're not consistent, why would anyone think that you would be different for them?
Absolutely.
What's another way that you think that someone could market themselves and maybe set themselves apart in a really crowded space?
I feel like showing up, first of all, on signing up and researching some professional associations like the Association of Virtual Assistants. The reason why I'm bringing this one up in particular is because it's not, they don't only take the educational approach and being kind of like that industry leader or setting up the standards for virtual assistants, but they also share a lot of job opportunities that are really internal to the members of the association. So I feel like being part of the professional associations is key. The same goes with online business managers, as the international association that is devoted just to them, or confident OBM community that is on Facebook as a group also is a good resource. And then honestly, Claire, I feel like Facebook nowadays is just a really great channel for developing your brand, and then also participating in different types of discussions when people not selling your services, but like offering actually your professional advice when people are asking some questions. And there are so many business owners there. They're kind of just like clueless, like where to start, or like how would I even calculate the project hours for this particular task that I have, or what is kind of like the industry average for me to put on for this task as the hourly rate, right? And so you can definitely chime in. And I feel like the way how you craft your comment to those particularly like simple questions or simple requests or reach outs will definitely help you stand out. It happened to me a few times when people were just like, I was so impressed with the way how you show up online or how you comment and everything. It's like, what do you do? Like, how can we talk? And just like, maybe you can help support my business.
Do you find that LinkedIn has value? Are you
does.
on LinkedIn? Okay. It's good.
Yes.
I feel like you could probably find groups that are similar on LinkedIn as well that would,
absolutely,
where people would be asking questions and things like that. Because I know I actually really dislike Facebook, and I don't go on it. I mean, I have to go on because my birthday was recently, and I had to go on and say thank you. But I mean, I don't even have that many comments on there anymore because most people know that I'm not on the app. So I'm wondering if you are finding that there are people that are kind of like leaving Facebook, or are you still finding that Facebook is a good market for you?
So I have to say, for virtual assistants and remote work, it's still a very popular channel to
it is. Okay.
not only, advertise kind of like your services, but also keep in touch with the community. And yeah, so it really does work, even though the market is saturated.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, I can tell you, just like even from my communication with the members of the Association of Virtual Assistants, has picked up only in the last maybe couple of years as the source where people are now becoming LinkedIn experts and like do workshops and masterclasses as far as like how to find job opportunities, right? And
I feel like LinkedIn definitely picked up 2019, 2020. People who kind of are like tired of like Facebook and we're like, okay, we're just going to go and do business.
I feel like untapped resource is Clubhouse.
Is it still working?
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
So even though there are a few virtual assistants out there already, but I feel like it's just really haven't been explored that much. So there's definitely less competition there. So I would try working on creating those connections in there as well.
Interesting.
But yeah, I would say at the moment, Facebook and LinkedIn definitely rival. They're kind of like that, sharing the number one spot.
Okay. Awesome. Well, so I definitely would love for you to give me the links. I can make sure they're in the show notes if someone is interested in some of those Facebook groups that you were mentioning. But tell people, how can they get in touch with you if they have questions, want to work with you as a virtual assistant, want to hire you because they want a virtual assistant? How will someone find you?
It's actually very easy to find us. Our website is remoterockstars.com. We are on Facebook. Our business page is Remote Rockstars. Same with Instagram. And we do have the Remote Rockstars Club group that is geared towards helping out virtual assistants who are just starting out or are already experienced in what they do. And also business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking for virtual support. So that could be a very good resource to post some job opportunities that people already have, or just ask some questions as far as like, where do I start and like, how do I begin this journey of expanding my company?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Oxana, for being on the Powerful Personal Brand podcast. I think that really anybody that's doing freelance, you gave a lot of great tips on things that people can do if they want to be a virtual assistant or just put out your own kind of shingle, if you will, for freelance. There's a lot of great stuff there. So thank you so much. And we will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.